What's up guys, Mason with Premium Unleaded. I've got Dustin here, and recently Dustin decided that he wanted to put some lowering springs on his car, which is, what are we driving, D?
Hyundai Veloster 2014. It's the turbo edition with the Elite White, the tech package. It's got everything.
So stops, goes.
Stops, goes, now it handles.
We decided, since Dustin wanted to do lowering springs, that we would download an accelerometer, a G meter, and see if we could get higher G's out of lowering springs versus stock springs, and see if those numbers would coincide with the B meter. B meter is also a very technical scientific tool.
Very scientific.
Which is the butt meter. So we're gonna see if we can get the G meter to improve with the B meter. See if it, the butt dyno feels, really truly handles as good as we think it feels. We lowered the car.
Yes, we did.
And you drove the car for a while. You had it for like what, 3 years?
3 years, yep.
Before you decided you want to lower it.
Exactly.
You got a pretty good feel for the car over the 3 years.
Yep.
And now it's been 2 weeks since we've lowered it. The suspension's settled. You've gotten used to the handling. Does it feel quite a bit different?
Yes, there's a significant difference just with it being lowered. It's got a much better stance. It corners so much better. You can feel the road a lot more. The handling is just outstanding. Just shocked at how much difference going from stock springs to lowering springs makes.
And you went with the Godspeed Traction S.
Yes, I did.
Lowering springs.
Sure.
So you got
only $130. So
$130
for the improvements, in my opinion, are pretty awesome.
Right, $1,100 less than like a 32-way adjustable coilover.
Yep.
So higher spring rates on the springs. So obviously it's a little stiffer, less body roll.
Yeah.
I drove the car before and I drove the car after we lowered it, and I felt just the next day, without being settled, that the car was a lot more well planted, a lot more sure-footed and confident in the turns. You could get into it, man. You didn't have to brake as hard entering a turn.
Yeah.
And you got to lay into it way earlier in the turn, and you can just hook up and get out of there.
Yeah.
I think, obviously there's really no replacement for coilovers. However, if you don't want to sacrifice your
ride quality,
and you don't need a 4-inch adjustable height, and you don't need 32
dampening
32 settings for how soft or how hard you want your ride for date night versus a track day or whatever. Check it out. Here's us lowering the car, driving it. We'll show you our results. We got our G meter. Are maxed out, we're ready to go. So we'll see what happens.
Here we go.
All right.
So what's the process going to be like with the G meter?
So we're gonna go up Immigration Canyon. It's gonna record our maximum G's reached in the turns. I'm pretty familiar with this canyon, so we can drive it pretty confidently and kind of exploit the car's maximum potential right now. Basically, we're gonna take the most amount of G's that we've made. We're gonna see if we can make an improvement with the lowering springs. So, and I'm actually very impressed by this car for being a front-wheel drive turbo sports car. The power isn't overpowering, so you don't get a lot of torque steer. And I think because of its short wheelbase and its already low slung stance, you get a lot of confidence out of the car. You feel a lot of road, you feel a lot of grip. You feel pretty confident taking a turn at higher than posted speeds. Top G 1.37 so far. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah, get your shit together, Wazowski. God damn it. G'd up from the feet up.
I heard dubstep adds G's.
Yes. This is the turn right here. This is the G slide.
I mean, it feels pretty good on my cheeks, you know?
It feels good. So yeah, so the lowering springs will offer a stiffer ride just because more aggressive spring rates. The alternatives to springs are basically, well, you could do a spring and strut combo, which springs and strut combo will give you more road feel, more stiffness, but you're just adding to the cost. And you do see on a young enough set of struts, which this one only has 20,000 miles on the struts, you should see enough performance gains from the springs. Or you can do a full coilover setup, which you're removing the OEM strut and slapping in a new one with adjustable dampening, with an even more aggressive spring rate, and you have more adjustability as far as height, where you can drop anywhere from 0 to 3 inches. As we're a lowering spring, you just have a more aggressive spring rate on the spring, and you're lowering them, which is about 1.5 inches on the front with this car, and 1 3/8 inches on the back. And the other thing about lowering springs is you're not sacrificing ride quality too much, because you're sticking with a softer shock. Those are kind of the two benefits, is cost effectiveness and ride quality. But the other two benefits with coilovers are adjustability as far as dampening, spring rates, and height goes, and overall performance. So, plus because coilovers are a lot lighter as well, so you're taking away from that weight on your steering assembly. There's a number of other things you can do as well to liven up your suspension with stiffer sway bar end links, with stiffer materials as the bushings, thicker sway bars so you have less flex in the metal, stuff like that. When you get a car, the two things you can do to improve its overall appearance is lower it and tint the windows. And Dustin's all out of windows to tint. Alright, so we just pulled into the bottom. We got a reading of 1.8 max G's so far. We're gonna head back up, see if we can get a different reading the other direction. Go home, slap some springs on, do it all again.
Do it all over a second time. I mean, let's see if we can really rip some G's going. You know what I mean?
You wanna be scared?
I don't want to be scared, because you're f***ing terrified.
Remember that one time when you went four-wheeling in the Land Rover?
That was a horrible experience. I did not enjoy myself at all.
Ping!
Yep.
We're pinging.
Yeah, boy. Oh, God. Nice. Okay, I like it. Excuse this. Excuse me, sir. Our testing environment was not ideal today.
But that's what happens.
It's true.
This looks like a good place to, did you give Mildred her pills, by the way?
I've been trying to die for 37 years.
Sad. Alright, we're gonna rip this turn, see if we get some skirt here. Skirt. That intake sounds killer, Dustin. I love it. I don't know if you can hear it, but people in Facebook land can, in YouTube land, internet land.
Internet people.
Can you over there in internet land?
People of the internet.
People of internet land, I come in peace. 1.89.
1.89?
Yep.
Again?
So 1.89 was the highest G achieved with the stock springs on dry roads. We'll stop at our local parts store, get a spring compressor, because we're not dummies, and switch the springs out. My record, reset max G. So we went from 0 max G's. Hopefully we don't lose the camera today. There's a lot more road noise and road feel from the stiffer springs. And it's more responsive too, like there's less dead zone in the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So you can feel it.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely like more flat turning and less body roll.
Yeah.
That's with an inch and a half.
Inch and a half.
So, and the springs, they might settle a little bit more than they did, which is just going to give you a bit lower center of gravity. So, yeah, it definitely feels a lot more confident and sure-footed. I have to say, for $200, I'm impressed.
They weren't even 200. They were like 130.
For $130, I am impressed. I mean, obviously, there's no real like replacement for coilovers and bag overs, whatever you prefer. For $130 versus $1,000, you get a little bit more aggressive look, and you get a little bit more of a performance gain. So with a little bit more sure-footedness, you probably get higher entry speeds and stuff. I just felt smooth.
It felt nice. I'll race ya. Hey! Beat him.
1.6 was the top G. Right there.
I got 1.8 yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah. Dang it. Back up Immigration Canyon for the second part. For science.
For science.
Science. All right, let's really try to. We gotta beat the G's, man.
Yeah,
I know.
man.
I know, man.
We gotta beat the G's.
We were touting some serious
performance increases.
I mean, it feels better, but the G's aren't any.
The B meter is pleased, but is the G meter.
Yeah, my B meter is off the scale. You know what I'm saying?
Like I can give it all the berries in the middle of a turn, dude. No big deal.
Give it all the berries.
All the berries.
Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries.
As Pasquin at Ignition Logic would say.
All the berries.
Woo!
Give me the berries. Give me that berry shake. Oh, yeah.
If we get pulled over doing research, is that a write-off?
I think it is. I feel like it should be.
If that's the case, we do get pulled over, you gotta take that camera, swivel it inside real quick.
And just start yelling police brutality.
Stop, police brutality!
Ow! Ow! Stop resisting.
Just because you say you're not resisting doesn't mean you're not resisting. I'm not resisting! No, dog, you're resisting. You would lie. We're probably gonna get a little bit more on the top going up.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We gotta get a point. Just any increase, man.
Maybe hit 2 G's. No, that's like a 5% increase, right?
If your math is correct.
It may not be.
I know mine would be.
Like, I believe that's like a 15-point increase.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh god, my prostate. Damn.
Definitely like higher speed average through this canyon for sure. Just because I can lay into that throttle.
That was fun. Oh, dude, I felt it in my armpits. You know what I mean? Alright, team. Cool.
Cool, mate.
Cool, man. Amen.
Alright, let's check that G meter.
No! GPS error.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Do we gotta go drive it again? Alright, let's go drive it again. So just for the record, at this point, what we have documented is 0.2
G's.
0.2 G's lower than yesterday.
So frustrating.
Yeah, so many G's that we broke the GPS.
Ugh.
God, we are the worst scientists ever. God.
Yeah.
So here's my thinking though behind if we do have lower numbers. Hear me out.
Okay.
So with more confident steering, you have a higher entry speed, but then you also have a smoother throttle through the turn, right? So you're not as jerky, you don't have to brake as hard, all this other stuff. To get into the turn.
So maybe by lowering the G's, that's actually an improvement in performance.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's what the
Because there's not so much sway on the body.
Exactly.
I wish we could have
maybe
done speeds, because that would have easily told us
right.
what kind of speeds we could keep.
But maybe that's also my thinking is you don't have to brake as hard going into a turn because you can have higher entry speeds with a more stable suspension.
I can see that.
But then also, as you hold it, it's just smoother power delivery. So I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Jesus. Still only 1.27 though.
Get out of here.
1.27.
Nope.
1.27 still. God damn it. We're gonna actually use the data to fit our narrative. Alright, rip it on this one. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one, I feel it. Oh yeah. Damn.
Something's got to be wrong. 1.27.
Here, let me hold it. I'm just gonna hold it now.
More flat turning
Yeah.
versus being pulled out. You're ripping it way harder, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have paid for a G meter.
I know we're using this.
This free app.
Yeah. Shout out to the app.
Shout out to the GeForce app.
Our data set is so shitty though. Like we did one pass yesterday both ways, and today we're like trying to like
Break
force
the
data.
G's,
Yeah, right. Like we're gonna do it.
Our research has failed, guys.
I don't know that it's failed, it's just bad. Which side? Oh, there it is, 1.3. It's crazy.
Maybe kill it.
God, we're terrible scientists, man.
If you can't be good at science, be good at writing.
That's right. 1.39 on that one. There we go.
Hey, tell me about your day. Oh, it was so great. I f***ing pissed myself riding my bike up Emigration Canyon. Oh, it was fantastic.
They got cramps.
I feel so great. Oh,
My endocrine system failed.
I did not have enough potassium, so my sides all f***ed up. But oh man, wonderful day. It was great. Oh yeah, dude. And then right after I shit my pants, I got a flat tire and I had to sit on the hot asphalt and f***ing change it in my tights.
And I just shit it. Now that shit has been seared to my asshole.
Come on, guys.
Oh god. Push it. 1.44.
Dang, dude.
How the f are we like?
How the f do we get 1.89?
Well, maybe that's our conclusion.
I think it's a good one. I mean, we're not. I don't think we should bullshit it.
Lay some theory out there.
Yeah.
So we lowered the car,
Yes,
but
indeed.
before we did that, we drove it up and then back down Immigration Canyon.
A few times.
Before we lowered
Before
it.
we lowered
Before we
it.
lowered it, we drove it up and down Immigration Canyon once
Yep.
with the G meter placed in the middle of the car, float around wherever it wanted to. Honestly, dude, our control was terrible.
It was. We are not scientists. We wanted to
Full-
believe we were,
Full disclosure,
we are not scientists.
Bill Nye, if you're watching, there's no hope for this world.
We're sorry.
Anyways, We got 1.8 was our max G's
Yeah.
with stock springs.
Stock springs,
in any corner. Afterwards, we lowered the car. We went up the very next day on a public road with bikers in traffic, phone in the same place, and we were right around consistently 1.4, 1.3, 1.4, and we hit 1.6 once. And we drove up and down immigration probably 3 times to try and beat 1.8.
Yep.
And we didn't.
No.
1.8 beat us.
Yes, it did. But the butt meter felt like it didn't.
But the B meter, right?
The B meter.
So, and is that the placebo effect though? Like, is it the, you know, you lower your car expecting better handling, so that's what you feel, or maybe you feel more confidently driving the car because these are the results you're told to expect?
In my opinion, I think the B meter felt better because you were able to take the turns at higher speeds, higher entry speeds, higher exit speeds. It just was a lot more sure-footed in the corners, where with the regular springs on, there was a lot more body roll. You couldn't do all of that. So while you got more jerkiness out of the turns, that's probably where some of that G's came from.
Yeah, so you have, with stock springs, I think you're right. I think with stock springs, you have harder braking into turn entries. And once you're in the turn, you have the body roll, which is, I guess, all that inertia is trying to pull your car out of the turn.
Yep.
Maybe the G's are going out that way too, laterally.
Like our science was.
Like our science.
Out of the way.
Our science was. Don't let our big words and jargon dismiss the fact that we are not scientists
at all.
Just because I said lateral G doesn't mean that I know what it means. An inertia.
That's inertia with an SH.
Inertia.
No, but I think you're right though. I think that because I think it's just an overall smoother execution pretty much of the turn.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to brake as hard. You have higher entry speeds. More flat turning versus, you know, like this happening. So we're turning like this versus turning like this, right? It could be that lower G's is really kind of the improvement, the determining factor that the lowering springs did work, because, dude, we couldn't even get and maybe 1.8. Like
1.6 was hard for us to get with the springs.
It was, dude. We ripped that thing, and then after we got 1.4, we like held it into turns, and then we shook it to like make sure that it was working. Like when we shook it, it was hitting like 3 G's. So I think what we can take away from this, Dustin,
is that we are not scientists.
We are not scientists. I think the things we could take away from this is, 1, we're not scientists. 2, maybe you should pay for an accelerometer app.
Probably. Good one too.
And 3, let's take it to a track.
More controlled
setting.
setting.
Have a hard mounted place for the phone to be set. The only difference in what we're doing is the fact that we have aftermarket springs versus OEM springs.
Yep.
I think you're out. I think the car handles amazingly. I think it handled well before, but I think with the lowering springs, it really livened it up.
Yeah.
And really kind of made a much more enjoyable driver out of the Veloster. And being a front wheel drive, smaller engine turboed car.
Yeah, for 1.6 engine, it ripped.
I'm impressed, dude. I mean, I've had V8 BMWs, WRXs, S60Rs, you name it, dude. And that car, pretty impressive, man.
Yep.
For a budget hot hatch, I think it gives any German car a run for its money, because it feels built so well.
Yeah.
But break the bolts loose every so often, maybe not just every 3 years.
Every 3 years or 4 years. You got those bolts just wanted to stay nutted.
Now they're gonna know we're not mechanics either. All right, so let us know what you guys think, and maybe if we should have expected to see higher G's versus lower G's, and maybe why we saw lower G's, other than the obvious that we're not scientists. Yeah, put your input down below. Share your thoughts. Thanks for letting us use your whip, D.
Yeah, of course.